Hey everyone, today we're going to be unboxing and putting together the XPOLE. So this is the latest version, the Xpert. This is a spin and static pole, and this is how it looks upon opening the box. That right there are the instructions. We'll look through that a little later on. So once I open the box that's inside, this is how it looks. So you can see the pieces of the poles. And I actually got the 45 millimeter titanium gold pole. So it has some quick instructions if you don't want to look through the manual right on top of that little box. That box didn't have anything in it. And here is the instruction manual. Highly suggest that you read it thoroughly. Before you even get started, look at the beginning of the manual and it'll show you all of the pieces that should be in your box. Make sure you have all of the pieces that you need. So here are some screws, and these are the tools that you're going to need. The screws, I will show you that later on, and the little tools here is pretty much all you need to put the pole together. However, I do recommend that you buy a stud finder. You should probably buy one at the same time that you're purchasing your pole. That way you know you'll have your stud finder in time for when your pole comes up. You can have a smooth, seamless setup. So a stud finder is going to help you find the beams in your ceiling. So it's highly recommended, even though you're not going to be screwing your pole in your ceiling, it's highly recommended you place it underneath a beam so that you have that extra security, especially if you know maybe the structure in your place is not the sturdiest. Like if you live in an old apartment or house, you want to make sure that you're safe and you place it underneath a beam. So I'll leave a link to the one that I purchased. I got it on Amazon for like 20 something bucks. So I'm going to leave the link to the one I purchased below. But again, you can just search stud finder on Amazon or go to your local hardware store and they should have them there as well. So I'm unraveling all of the plastic from the poles. Again, you want to make sure that all of the pieces are in here before you even start unraveling anything. Just look and take the pieces out. Make sure everything is there before you get started. And thoroughly check your box. I actually have bought some grip that you see me opening up here, and I thought they forgot it, but it was just placed somewhere like in one of the little nooks in the box. So make sure you thoroughly check your box as well. Now we're going to get started with setup. So this little piece that I'm spinning here, that is actually what you're going to use to put your pole on spin and static. So when your pole arrives, it will probably be on spin. You want to switch that to static before you do anything else. Switch it to static because you're going to need to have it on static anyway to extend it. So here is your A pole, and this is going to go at the bottom. And you see there's a little hole there. And then we have these little rods that go in the middle of the poles. And if you look closely, you see it says expand and contract, and you'll see that there are two arrows. Those arrows should be facing down. And then once you slip the little rod inside, you see the holes align with the hole that's on the actual pole. So all of the holes should align like that. And again, the arrows should be facing down. And the arrows are also showing you which way you turn to contract and expand. You want to have it on contract first, and that's going to make it so that it's loose. When you put it, well, when you turn it on expand, it's going to tighten the pole. Also, if you look very closely right here, you see the XPOLE logo. Make sure that it's upright. If it's upside down, you might find that your poles feel a little weird. Like you might find that maybe it's not slipping in properly. So make sure it's right side up. So you see here I have my A pole and my B pole. My B pole I put second, and the holes align perfectly. So right now at that point, my poles are not fully tightened. We'll do that later on. So now we're going to move on to the extension pieces, and I already know which extension piece I need, which is the larger extension that comes with the pole. So here's the little tools that it comes with, and I'm going to just take this apart real quick just so you guys can see. Just in case you find that you don't need that extension, but this is how the extension came, you don't have to use it. So you can take that little rod inside right out and use it for another extension piece, or don't use it at all. So the top part of this also comes off. So let's say you're using the smaller extension, you can pop this right out and put it in a smaller extension. Whatever extension you use, or if you don't use the extension at all, that piece that I'm holding in my hand is going to go at the top of your pole, because that is what you're going to slip your plate onto. So now I'm going to finish putting it fully together. I'm holding the B pole in my hand, and then that is the same extension I just showed you. Again, this is the larger extension that I'm using for my room. Slipping that right in. It's not fully tightened yet. You see it comes right off. I haven't expanded the inside pole yet. And then on top of that extension piece, I'm going to be adding the top plate. So there you go. The top plate is really simple. You slide it right in, and that's it. You don't need to turn it. You don't need to screw it, anything. Now, since this piece is going to be going at the top and I don't want to bring out a ladder to go up and climb and tighten it, I'm going to go ahead and tighten it now. So I'm twisting clockwise to expand that rod that's inside the poles, and it's going to tighten it. So if you want to check if your rods are tightened or not, simply just try to pull the two poles apart like that. See how it's not moving? So if it comes apart, that means you're turning it the wrong way and you need to turn it the opposite way. So very, very important to tighten those rods that are inside the pole. So when it comes to putting together the A and B pole, you can either lay it down on the floor, put it together and tighten it, or you can just lift it up. Be careful if you're doing it like this. It is a little bit heavy. So slip that B pole right on there and then tighten it. So the way I tighten it is gradually. You see me going back and forth tightening it. And that's because I don't do one fully and then do the other. I kind of do it gradually. So here's the bottom of the pole, and you can see it's on static. Once I turn it, it's on spin, and then I'm going to turn it back and put it on static. So it's really that easy to make your pole static to spin. And we're going to leave it on static because we need it on that to expand and tighten our pole. You're also going to notice at the bottom of your pole, there's 3 screws. You're going to loosen them. You don't have to take them out completely, but you're going to need to loosen them. So I like to just swivel them around 3 times each, and that's it. And then we're going to go ahead and start expanding our pole. So you're going to turn your pole counterclockwise like this. If you look down, you'll see it expanding a little bit. Counterclockwise, and you're going to keep doing that until it's fully secure on your ceiling. Literally, all you're doing is spinning the pole. Again, the pole is on static when you're doing this. You see my ceiling, the top of the plate is not fully secure yet. You're going to keep on spinning until it touches the ceiling. Something I like to do is, if you look at the top, it's touching the ceiling when I move it around, but it's not fully secure. So something I like to do is get it to where it's like that. And then I have a mirror here because I put my poles up by myself. I have a mirror. I look in the mirror, kind of move it around and see if it's straight. I'm also able to walk to the other sides of my room and look from different angles and see if I need to adjust it and then fully tighten it. So another important thing is the keyholes at the bottom. There's 3 of them, and you have this long red line. So you need to make sure the red line aligns with one of those keyholes. It doesn't matter which one it is, but it needs to align with one of them. So right when I feel like the pole is almost completely tightened to my liking, I just go down to the bottom of the pole and I keep turning, but also making sure that I'm aligning one of the keyholes with the red line. Very, very important. And I'm going to show you guys the instructions after so you guys can see an example of if you extended your pole too high. So this is how it should look. Okay, so the red line is aligned with one of the keyholes. And then if you extended your pole too much, what you're going to see is a red line like that. A horizontal red line. I've never seen it because I've never extended my pole too far, but that is what you're going to see. Okay, and if you extended your pole too far, then that means you probably need one of the extension pieces. So here's a photo of the order your pole should be in. So you have the A pole, you have the X joints, which is the little silver rods that go inside, your B pole, and then your 2 extensions on top. Which extension you need will vary on your room. Always put the extension pieces on top and never in the middle of your pole. So here is the smaller extension that I did not need. So I didn't even take out the plastic. I'm just going to go ahead and store it away because I don't need it. And here is the pole finished and ready to go. Again, I got the titanium gold. This is 45 millimeter. I can't speak on the other sizes they have, but this is the second gold pole I got and I love it. It is definitely a favorite of mine. So before I hop on, I like to just grab the pole really firmly and tug it back and forth. This needs to hold your whole body weight, so you don't have to do gentle tugs. Make sure you're tugging it. Make sure it feels sturdy and secure. And then you're going to go down and tighten those 3 screws. I like to tighten them gradually like I did with the X joints. So I don't do one at a time. I just kind of tighten them slowly and then make sure they're fully tightened all together. Here are some 3 extra little screws they give you. I haven't needed them yet for my other poles, but it's nice that you have some extra ones because they are small and can get lost easily. So I recommend you test out your pole on spin and static. I don't do anything too crazy right away. I'm just literally taking the pole for a spin. So that's all I'm doing are some basic spins, testing it out, making sure it's sturdy. Also, I usually find I have to break my poles in. And with this one right away, it felt great. The grip of it felt great. I was flowing all night on it. I had a lot of fun. I didn't even use any grip aid. The grip aid that I bought from them, I ended up using the next day. I completely forgot about it. Use it the next day. I've been using it so far. It's fabulous. I love it. I'm going to leave the description to all pole things related that I use in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I will see you guys next time. Later.